G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 10 of my Drain Essence Apostate playthrough with Manfred here. Last episode we got up to Barrowholm, and we did a lot of the quests in between. And in between episodes I went ahead and I found myself a whole bunch more shields. Just did 3 quick runs through the Arcovian Undercity, went in through the Broken Hills Rift here, went in, killed, Laudos Vagra and whatever the other one is. Just go in here. You know what, I'll just show it. Easier. Show, don't tell and all that. So I went in here, maybe I'll find something better as well. That'll be alright. And I'm going over there, so pretty much just beeline for it. I don't generally like priests, so I'm going to kill them. But you can totally just run past those guys. No problem at all. Definitely want to be killing the priests over here because you're about to fight a hero. And Nomos Dread, yeah, and Laudos Vagra was the other one. Nomos Dread will drop one pretty much every time you see him. So there we go. Nice new shield. This one's required level 32. 40 is the max level these guys can get to. Or I guess like 41, 42 maybe. But somewhere around 40 is the max level you're going to get out of these guys, so they actually can't drop higher level shields. So 32 is pretty much as good as it's going to get. I found one that's pretty good. To be fair, the only thing it has on it that I care about is the monster infrequent bonuses and some physical resistance. But that is also what I wanted it for, so I can't really complain. I'd probably, if I was doing this again, I might just kill old mate down here and then exit to menu and just do that a couple of times, because this is a bit of a run. This is, however, what I did. So you'll notice the XP bar is going up a little bit as I'm just running through, because things are dying. Just Spectral Binding, or Spectral Wrath, and the procs is enough to kill things, so that's pretty good. You can kill the champions if you wish, but there's really no need to. Definitely is a need to kill the priests. And if you can get the enemies to stand in the seal with you, they'll take damage from it as well. And there we go, we've got Insulating of Annihilation, which if we were doing regular Garden Variety Drain Essence with Vitality damage focus, that would be pretty good. Okay, so that's what I did. I ran it a couple times, just until I got something nice. And do keep in mind also that, like, okay, this is, well, alright, turns out I'm a liar, and you can get level 52 items here. Is that the same base? No, that is actually the higher level base. Okay, so it can drop. Just low chance, I guess, because of the level. Anyway, so I'm not going to be using this, but if you look at it, the 31% chance to block 600-ish damage rather than 30% chance to block 450 damage. We don't have a lot of chance to block damage, and it's not a huge amount of damage, and we don't hit things with our shield, so we don't care about the vitality damage on the shield itself. And so basically we're just looking for affixes. And honestly, Insulating, which is your fire resistance, surely that would be cold resistance. Anyway, it is fire. And then of Annihilation for the vitality damage bonuses. None of that really matters to me, so I don't care about this one. Vigorous is health, I believe. And of the Protector is obviously going to be defensive stuff there. I don't really care for any of those either, because I have this one. Durable is really, really good on shields. It's what's giving me that physical resistance. I think it goes up to like 18 or 20%. It's been a while since I checked. But this is definitely not an amazing roll. At least I don't think it is. It is, however, better than my current one. It is a higher level... no, it's the same level shield. I'm telling lies again. It's the same level shield, so there you go. But it is higher physical resistance. It's got some casting speed and some stats on it, which is better than my old one. So I'm just going to swap that, and I'm going to pretend that I don't care that it's like 2 shield versions old at this point. So I'm just going to roll with it. Turns out monster levels are bullshit, because these are all level 40. That one's 38, so that's not level 40 either. I don't know. Anyway, I got a new shield. That's kind of what I've been talking about. And let's go ahead and jump over to Barrowholm because we've got some quests to do. I want to get to Malmouth today because the mages out the front have a stick that I want to whack things with. Or more accurately, they have a stick that's going to give me some really nice bonuses. Because at present, the Mage Storm is really nice, and like the Blaze Herald has an Aether bias, which is good, and adds Aether damage to Word of Pain, which is whatever. But we are a Drain Essence build, and so I want to get a weapon with bonuses to Drain Essence, and that is going to be from those mages in the city of Malmouth. Now, I could side against Barrowholm in order to get through this section faster, but I think I'm going to stay friendly with them just because once I get to max level, I will want their augments in order to kind of finish a build. So I'm going to pick up all their quests here. And we'll go do them. So we're going to start off heading up here to the north. This is basically a big loop, and you can start at the top or you can start at the side, which is kind of over here. And it really doesn't matter which way you go. What matters is that everything dies, and we get the quest done. It's really not going to take super long. The crabs in the mines is obviously going to be the longest part of this. And I like XP, so I'm definitely going to be killing all of that. Alright, we are also looking for... Why did I not move there? Anyway, that's fine. We're looking for these guys here. This is Thomas. He likes midnight walks on the beach and going into pots. So, luckily for him, that's where he's going. So he's going to have a great time. And there's actually no need to go over here now. We can beeline for the mines. And inside the mines, we need to kill all of the, I think it's pit creepers, it's pit something. They are yellow named crabs. And if you miss one, it will be the most annoying thing that happens to you today. Because if you miss it, you're going to have to come back and either run through an empty mine to find the one pit crab or however many it was you missed. Or you're going to have to reset and run the whole thing again with enemies, which is probably what I would do just because it's, you know, less boring. Either way, it is going to be irritating. So let's go ahead and take care of all of these. I haven't actually seen any pit creepers or whatever they're called yet. There's going to be one in here, surely. That's all right. We are also looking for dynamite, which can drop in here. Of course, I'm talking about it, so it doesn't, but any of those little scrap piles can drop dynamite. And we have got a treasure trove in here and also totem, so there's a decent amount of stuff to do. There is a devotion shrine in here, but I think it's ultimate only. So if it is here and I'm wrong, awesome, I'd love to be wrong. I like devotion points. And in fact, the next devotion point I'm going to get is going to be worth kind of 4 devotion points, which I will mention when I get to it. This little section here, make sure you run all the way down here just to get these guys to come out of the ground. Because if you don't, that's where your missing crab is going to be. Ask me how I know. It's incredibly frustrating. So it's best to just check all of the little side areas and go from there. Still no dynamite, which is kind of annoying. Checking just here for the treasure trove. It could also have been up either here or here, somewhere around there. So I'm definitely on the lookout for that. There is some loot over here in the walls, and a free dynamite every single time, which is nice. This is not the loot in the walls. This is the loot in the walls. Formidable Gauntlets of Corrosion and the Stalwart Assault Helm of the Flesh Hulk. I'm probably not using either of those. I am on the lookout for some new boots. If you mouse over your armor here, basically the way I kind of think about this in terms of what do I want to upgrade next is I look at this, I look for the lowest number in the armor rating, and I go, feet, what are they? Well, they're level 35 boots. They're 11 levels old. It's my lowest armor value piece. I probably want to replace that. So that's how I kind of think about it. That said, we are coming up on level 50. So we'll be getting the Black Legion boots at that point, or we'll be getting access to it, assuming I have the required reputation. And 47 means we are 1 point away from maxed out Inquisitor Seal. That elemental resistance on there is really annoying. I don't want temporary resistances depending on where I'm staying. It's going to convince me that I'm fine, and then I'm going to die. Incorruptible of Celerity is pretty good. Let me have a look at that, actually. So Celerity is going to be casting speed. If I go to hold my mouse still, that would be great. Aether and Chaos Resistance are things that I like. They are very small numbers, though. And I need the Elemental Resist for both of those. So that is a nice ring that I'm not going to wear, unfortunately. Alright, I do want to check over here, because, hey, here we go, 2 Pit Creepers. That would have been a little bit frustrating. And also because more loot hidden in the walls here. Got the Obsidian Grasp if we want some extra fire damage. Also, just a quick shout out that I will be starting a new build soon. I'm pretty sure by the time this goes live, there will be a poll on the channel. Either that, or I will have just decided which one I'm going to do. But go check out the community section, and if there's a poll there, voice your opinion, I guess. That will be starting soonish. I don't have a day picked out for it yet. It's just going to be one of those days where I don't feel like playing this guy, honestly. But I already have a pretty good idea of what I want to play. And it's just going to be, you know, you guys get to pick the final choice, but I've already chosen a couple of things that I actually want to play. All right, give me the loot, and you stop that. Yeah, so go ahead and check for the poll if you're interested, and if you're not, that's fine as well. Alright, lots of ghosties, which I really do wish that the +1 to Inquisitor skills belt didn't come with Aether to Elemental conversion. It would be much more useful if it didn't. Alright, and we're standing in a whole bunch of goop here, but it kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it's definitely good practice to not stand in the goop. But we were busy beaming things at the time. Alright, Adept's Dagger, no. And yeah, this chest, I wanted to have a look at this. Impervious is a pretty good prefix because it usually gives you, well, it always gives you Pierce and something else from memory. I think I'm getting Pierce and Fire this time. That is not a bad chest piece, but I do like the physical resistance. So I think I'm going to stay with my current one for the moment. We're almost done in the cave here, so kill off the last of these crabs. And we have the Big Daddy Ghost Crab over here. If you are looking for +1 to Inquisitor skills belts, this is the guy you want to farm. Also, look at my health bar, just completely not moving. That is the power of the Inquisitor's Mark. I can just stand in this, and my health doesn't even twitch. So there you go. Right, we are done in this cave. I do want to check, just make sure there was no little sections that I didn't poke my nose into. Because the crabs do hide underground, as you've seen, and I don't want to come back in here. I definitely went in there, so that's fine. And did I go over here? I think I did. Yep, we're good. Okay, I'm going to come down this way and just hit this last little section on the way out. Like I said, I want to make sure I don't have to... Stairs. I want to make sure I don't have to come back anytime soon. And I've actually been pretty good about this lately. It's been probably 5 or 6 characters since I missed something, so fingers crossed I've got them all. I got the treasure trove, I got the totem, I got my 2 free scraps. I think we're doing alright. This is a stone shell. There we go. I'm relatively confident that I got them all, so I'm going to leave now. And that should be us. Right, so I'm still looking for... Where is it? Do I have the Basilisk Venom? I thought I did. I definitely don't have the Alpha Horn. So I'm going to get that from here. Shout out to whoever it was who told me about this. I can never remember your name. I'm sorry. But go ahead and yell out in the comments. And people can tell you you're a good boy. I'm really horrible with names. But yeah, you will always get one there, which is nice. And there's another place back in the bog where you will always get a Basilisk Venom or Venom Sac or whatever it is as well. I'm kind of hoping I get one over here from Old Mate. Now, there we go. Venom Gaze Bile. That's what it's called. I swear, didn't I already pick one of these up? Yeah, it won't let me, so I've already got one. Somewhere. It's going to be in here, so there it is. Here's me staring straight at it. Where is it, you guys? Right, so we've got one more ward to click on. A couple of ghosts and some ghouls in here, because they're made out of XP, so why not? Here's my last little ward. A couple of ghosts there. I mean, I guess they're wraiths, aren't they? They're not ghosts. And we have one more batch of weary travelers to take care of. Let's go through the log. Why not? I don't go through the log very often. Usually because I remember where I'm going before I get to the other end. But, you know, it's a new thing to try. Why not? I know I mentioned in the last episode that this little section here, this little brick, used to give me nightmares because of Chupacabra. Well, so does this area here, for the same reason. But fortunately, he doesn't work like that anymore, so I don't have to worry about it, which is great. Also, you know, don't have Nemesis yet, so that's fine as well. Chupacabra, I'm pretty sure, is not super resistant to Aether, so we should have no issues with him. Aside from, obviously, he's still a Nemesis boss. Alright, there is our last little batch of lunch. So we can send them back. Did I get the witches? I don't think I got the witches. Alright, shove them into the gate, and let's go back to Barrowholm. And I'm actually going to go this way, because I want to just go ahead and make sure I got the witches, because I don't think no, I definitely didn't. Walk straight past them. I seem to remember back when I was walking past the guy at the gate, I seem to remember saying, like, no, I don't need to pick up the quest, I'll remember. Well, as it turns out, not so much. See, this is the kind of plant growth I was expecting last episode, and then it just didn't happen. Ooh, I do want that, though. Go back for the Ugden Bloom. Alright, so we went ahead kind of down here-ish. You'll see the star on the map here any second. No, you won't, because I don't have the quest, but here they are anyway. And we can shove them in a rift. And these guys are not going into the lunch pot. They're going back to Homestead. And we are going back to Barrowholm. So, we can turn these in. Scorv will send us out to kill a witch, which, I mean, yes, I will do this, because XP. Also, the moment of the truth is here. What is it? Continue. I've already dealt with your pests, so I did get all of the crabs. If not, he would be offering me the quest instead, and we can just say thank you. Just because they're cannibals doesn't mean we have to be rude to them. Alright, and we'll just pretend that I didn't ask about the survivors, and he didn't tell me that they're inside getting dressed or whatever it was. Okay, anything else I can do to help? What's the problem? I will deal with Laria. And you will give me the fetish that I was here for. Right, so Laria is over here by the Ugdenbog Rift, and you have a choice. You can either warn her that the Wendigo cult wants her dead, in which case that will basically complete the quest. You go back to Scorv, you lie to him, and you're like, oh no, I totally killed her, I swear. And then she shows up dead anyway. Or you could just kill her and take the better reputation and XP options. So unfortunately for Laria, there's no way to not have her turn up dead. Well, actually there is, but I already missed that choice. If you go hostile with Barrowholm, you don't have to kill Laria or stare at her corpse. But I'm just going to kill her. I will take the less bad option. And I definitely want to turn in this quest before I go and do the Coven quest. Yep, I definitely earned that. When you do this turn in, you are going to lose reputation with the Coven, because obviously you killed one of their friends. And if you are max reputation with the Coven, it will take you off of Revered and put you back to Honored. So then you want to turn in all these other quests you were doing for the Coven and just get your reputation back. That is tempting. Nope. Just sell all of this stuff and be on my way. These I'm going to... Well, I'm planning on wearing these at level 50 because they give me the same resistances as the 2 Perdition pieces. But this one has 900 armor instead of 300. Also comes with a bunch of bleeding resistance. And this one has an Aether proc on it. So between the two of them, I think they're going to be worth more than the 2 Perdition pieces. However, if they're not, we always have reputation gear to fall back on. Okay, this is as far as you can go with Scorv, and actually didn't lose any Coven rep there. Not sure what's going on, I expected to. Anyhow, he's got a nice shiny new hat, and we don't have enough reputation with him. So you actually need Honored with Barrowholm at this point, and you need Respected, and we don't have it. So we're going to leave that. We will get Respected probably somewhere in Malmouth, because they like you killing Chthonians, and there's a lot of Chthonians between here and there. However, I'm pretty much done with them at this point. I doubt very much I'm going to come back. Just because we're going to be killing Chthonians. I don't really care to come back for it, so I'm just not going to. Right, so quest complete, and what do you have in mind? Yes, will these suffice? Alright, so I'm going to go through all of her quests. Dealt with the abomination already. So we've already done a lot of these quests. Do I want more health? I think I have enough health for now. Let's push up and get Steel Resolve here. What else do we get after that? Or Essential we don't need. Or of Conviction we don't need. Let me have a look at the plan here. I definitely did max out the bars, but maybe we go back to Necro after we get Steel Resolve. I definitely want Steel Resolve though, so we're going to push up there. Alright, so perform the ritual. Here we go, Matron Malostria. I was expecting to have a quest for this, but I don't, so anyway. And we'll turn this one in as well. Okay, so the quest is... Hang on a second. Okay, so we don't have enough reputation. So we could go and kill 700 beasts, but I think I'm kind of okay with that. Let's just be on our way here. Once I bank all of this, and I have... I'm going to continue splitting that 50-50, I think. There we go. Right, let's head through then. I did say I wanted to get to Malmouth this session, and that is definitely true. Before we go off of here, though, we have an Act Boss, depending on how you look at it, to fight here. He's going to be doing Chaos damage, he's going to be doing Vitality damage, he's going to be doing a lot of Fire damage. Definitely Fire and Chaos are the two that you'll want to fix. I'm missing a bit of Chaos. So, let's just go back to Homestead and see if I can get a Chaos Resistance Potion. Is 7% going to make or break the whole thing? No, very unlikely. But I kind of want it. Mostly just to kind of set a good example, I guess. Best practice to always prepare for the fights going in. This should be fine, though, let's be honest. He doesn't have one. Does he have anything else fun, though? Chain lightning? No. Nothing fun. Alright, do I have one in the bank? I do not. Okay, that's also fine. Can I craft one? Consumables. Death Whisperer's Vitality. Da-da-da-da-da. Nope. Bloodbound Ointment. Okay, so I can craft one. I can craft 3. Cost me some Rift Stones. Let's go ahead and do it. Was it 1 or 3? I think it was 3. I'll tell you what, I'll make 4. Because numbers are hard. Alright, Bloodbound, it was just 1. There we go. And now my Chaos Resistances are maxed out. So was this completely necessary? No, it probably would have been fine. But now I don't have the excuse of I'm taking 35% more damage from Chaos than I need to be. So if I screw up and die now, it's entirely on me because all of my relevant resistances for that fight are capped out. And it probably means I stood on his little volcano thing and died. Or I got sundered and then did that. Alcadius the Unburied. He will remain unburied because, well, I'm not digging a hole. Alright, and we can just go through here. I do want to get up to the top. Do I want to start skipping stuff? I think I don't, actually. I did say I don't. I think I don't want to skip things, and then I skip things. Alright, make it make sense. I swear I haven't been drinking. Yeah, definitely XP is good, but also covering ground is also kind of good, so it doesn't... Like, one's not definitely better than the other, I guess. Okay, and Spectral Wrath et al. Can take care of all of that. There we go. Alright, got some free XP up here. Got a whole bunch of Wraiths, actually, so if you're trying to farm one of their Monster Infrequents, this is a okay place to do it. You'll occasionally get heroes up here as well. Stalwart of Dreeg's Gaze. Not enough resistances for me to bother with. This is what we're here for. So let's use the heirloom and jump on in. Welcome to the Desolate Wastes. There's a couple things in here we want to get. First one I'm looking for is the Exalted Stash, which is here. There's a couple of spots for this, but just next to this skull is the place that I find it the most often. And honestly, I usually forget about it if I don't find it here. Arcane Blaze on Robes, that's some Aether Missiles right there. Decent resistances, pretty mid armor. I think I probably won't end up using that. And there's not a whole lot of stuff here now that I want. So we can start moving north-ish. Maybe I'll kill a few of these as well. That's a lot of XP, which is great, because I like XP. Alright, we'll do it again. And once again, everybody's dead. I think the Exalted Stash can spawn sort of up here. Don't quote me on that. I definitely recommend having grimtools.com/map open. And that will actually show you where all of the spawn points for relevant things are. And eventually you'll just know. That's pretty much how I learned all of them. That and feeling really stupid when I said it was somewhere and then found out that actually it wasn't. You do tend to remember that. Welcome to the Void's Edge. This is Echodul's house, and we just kicked the door in. Now we're going to go and murder him in his sleep. Sorry, YouTube, I didn't mean it. In Minecraft. Okay? Just in Minecraft. More or less just make your way through here. none of this is going to be particularly challenging if your build is under control. I will go this way. And again, you can skip this stuff, you can kill it. I probably should be killing it, it is XP, but I want to push forward. I want to get some farming done this episode, or at least get to the point where I can do some farming. I can't attack through the gate. Alright, that's fine. So, Echodul, when you see this rock that's being nuked by lightning, or this big skull, Echodul lives here. He's going to flap down from above, and then we're going to kill him. Things we're looking out for in this fight, well, firstly, before you get here, make sure your resistances are under control. When he leans forward and flaps his wings, that is his Sunder animation, so you're going to want to evade either to his side or behind him. And he will also kind of reach his hand forward like he's pushing something at you. And that's going to be the volcano that he's putting under your feet, which you don't want to get hit by all of the little balls that it shoots out, because that'll kill you. Or at least it'll hurt a lot. And the rest of his stuff I kind of don't care about. So, let's just go and wait for him right here. And we'll give him the old drain. So I'm waiting for him to lean forwards. There it is. I'm going to give myself another Inquisitor Seal. Refresh the shred. I'm standing on the volcano, so we'll just jump between the seals. You can see there's the volcano. It's spitting little fireballs out. If you're standing directly on top of it, it's going to hurt a bit. Maybe at this point in the game with a fully maxed out seal with +3 levels, maybe 250 damage absorption might be enough to negate most of the damage, but it's kind of not worth taking the risk. All this stuff here, you can absolutely fight this stuff, and I think I will. You can also just run past this. It will reset before we get to Ulgrim. Steven Seagal has been dragged down into hell, and let's just see what he's done to the thing that dragged him in here. Does this head look familiar? Do all of these tentacles look familiar? Yeah, he's straight up killed the Logorian in the Logorian's own house. So this guy's not someone to be messed with. Which brings me to my next point. Be careful what you click on here, because if you piss him off, you'll have to fight him. And he just killed the Logorian in his own realm. So there is an achievement for beating him. He is definitely not unbeatable, but he is probably stronger than the Act 4 boss. So be careful what you click on. It will tell you if you're going to attack him. It's not going to be like, surprise, it's fighting time. It will say, you know, attack in brackets or something. What happened to you? You have to listen, you're in trouble. You're in the void. So here is the attack one. You can see attack in brackets there. I don't generally do this, and I don't recommend it, but there is an achievement tied to it, and if you're playing softcore, the worst that'll happen is you'll have to run back. I'm going to tell him that I'm his friend, and we are going to go through to Malmouth. Alright, and let's go. You definitely can fight him. I think I fought him in my Fire Pets Cabalist playthrough. He's not unbeatable for sure, but I do talk him up a little bit. Anyhow, if you choose to fight him, good luck, and have fun. Now, I'm trying to move towards the top left. I definitely want to kill that tyrant before he gets to hit me. Looks like he didn't have the axe that absolutely terrifies me, but that's fine. That's fine. Also, the reason I mention those axes is not because I'm expecting to get hit with a, like, 200 flat phys damage, 700% physical damage Obsidian Warcleaver. Something was mentioned on the Reddit the other day where someone actually said that they had died to the Shamblers throwing rocks at them. And that's one of the things I call out, because it is actually dangerous. And it's not going to get you every time, but it will get you if you're not sort of paying attention to it. And it's killed me as well. So usually the stuff I shout out is stuff that I've killed. And to the guy who died to that, look, I'm sorry, but there's a reason I call them out. I'm pretty sure I said that they hit like a truck tied to another truck strapped onto a train. Pretty sure that's what I said. And that sort of thing is why. Right, we have to keep moving. There we go. Level up. Got a blueprint that I don't actually already have. This is unusual. Usually he'll give you stuff that you already have. And you can just stop whatever it is you think you're doing. No. Okay, so we're at the weather top here. We're waiting for the Nazgul to arrive. But we're going to play a trick on them. We're actually going to leave before they get here. And we're going to head down to the city of Malmouth. The city of Malmouth has a nice stick that I want to get my hands on. So the sooner we can get there, the sooner I get my nice new stick. See this guy here? Reflecting. Okay, I expected him to drop the weapon, but that's fine. Either way, standing in the Inquisitor seal, pretty much at this point in the game is going to reduce most hits to nothing. Which is nice. It definitely, I mean, I am taking a little bit of damage, but there's a lot of stuff beating on me here, and it's just killing itself. Which, again, taking a little bit of damage, but not really. Everybody's just sort of dying. So Inquisitor Seal, definitely one of the best spells in the game. You look different. Yeah, there we go. Does help if you stand in it, though. Alright, so now that we're out onto the plains, a couple of things to note about the plains. One, there is a treasure trove and a totem out here. Two, there is a chthonic plane out here. And three, if you rescued Dela's diary back in Homestead, Dela is out here. So we want to hit all of those things. Wayward Soul ranking up, that's a nice chunk of armor. We have a look, 688. Once Wayward Soul goes away, nope, didn't proc. Or wasn't active. Yeah, we want to go talk to Dela. We want to do her quests. There is a lot of XP to be had from doing her quests. And we want to get into the Chthonian Plain because of that. I'm checking here for the treasure trove. I'll be honest, I don't often get it because I haven't memorized all of the places where it can be. Which is fine. You don't have to get it. I would normally say it's not worth going to find it because it's just a treasure trove, and I think I'm going to stick with that. Alright, these red circles on the ground, there are 3 of them, and they are where the portal spawns. So this is the first location. Here's the treasure trove, there we go. I gotta keep saying that I don't get things very often because then I'll actually get them. The easiest way to find that is to look for this massive water feature here. Call it a gun, call it a tap, like the wall would be here, here's the tap, water comes out here. Either way, follow this and it'll point you towards the first red circle. Let me just take care of Polv Daroth. And I guess we can get some loot. Merciless of the Boar, okay. The second one of the 3 red locations is if you head like kind of north-northwest up that way, you'll find it. So that's what I'm going to do. And then if you don't find it there, you head pretty much directly east, that way. And you will definitely find it at the 3rd location because it is at one of the 3. Wild Speaker coat, lots of armor, lots of pet stuff. Shade leather legs. I think I've had these like 3 or 4 times now. It's determined to get me to wear it, and it's just not happening. Right, so if we head sort of this way, there's the portal. Let's clear the area. You definitely don't need to. You can just go straight into the portal. But when you come out, it is going to... There's a bunch of physical damage on that one. When you come out, it's going to spit you back out at one of those 3 at random. So if you clear out the area, you won't have to fight it when you come out. And if you don't clear out the area, well, you might have to fight some stuff on the way out. Okay, welcome to the Cinder Wastes. There are a couple of things here which are a little bit terrifying. The good news is that the guy I'm here for is like, he lives around here-ish. The bad news is I'm going to go and show all the stuff. So here is Bandragos, and he has, where are they? Minions of Dravis with him. The minions of Dravis are healers, and so we are going to want to kill 2 of them, and also Bandragos, and also all this other rubbish that's come running because they're annoyed that we're here. There we go. They're all dead. Lovely. The healers can sometimes be a pain because, well, they heal him, and then he doesn't die, and it's just annoying when he doesn't die. But the the flower, this is what we were here for. Okay, next thing to kind of note about this place is there is a boss up here. He can spawn at several different locations. I'm blanking on his name because obviously I am. But he can spawn up here. He can spawn in the middle, which is where I am eventually going. Because I'm playing a Necromancer, I do want the Lunar Valgoth belt. We could also, I think the Coven has the blueprint for the crafted one. But I am looking for... Is it Gabblethorn, actually? I might have just remembered his name. Anyway. Here he is. It is Gabblethorn, how about that? Give me some Inquisitor Seal goodness. He's going to take more damage because he's standing in it. I'm going to take less damage because I'm standing in it. Down he goes. He can be a little rippy. Definitely not guaranteed, but he can be. There's also a treasure trove in here somewhere, which I'm going to go find. I know a couple of the spots where it could be, so I'm going to head down to the tippy top of the area, or the tippy bottom, I guess. Down here. There's my exit, if I wanted to leave, which I don't. I could have been wrong about that spot, actually. I'm not confident. But this one I was definitely going to next. Dust Brawler Shoulder Guards. That's kind of ouch. Don't do that, please. I think I was standing in goop. Dust Brawler Shoulders, +2 to Inquisitor Seal is really nice. Bringing that up to 5 would be amazing. So maybe I can give up 400 armor. No, probably not. Anyway, something to think about. I'm heading for this area here. There will be another portal. So this one here is the exit. That will take you back to the real world, the outside. This one takes us deeper, and we are going deeper. Now there is a quest in here, which we are going to be very careful about our answer to it. Actually, in normal it doesn't matter so much. In normal it doesn't matter, but in ultimate, you do not want to let the cultists out, because you will lose one of the best farming places for the gods' reputation, the witch cults. They're not really gods, but anyway. We'll call them gods. If you let these cultists out, which you're going to see here in a minute, then they will actually go and kill off Inashkor, I think the monster's name is, and the 2 temple guardians with him. And you will lose one of the... Well, not one of. You will lose the best place in the game to farm reputation for the witch gods, or the witch cults. So, in normal, it doesn't matter. You can let these guys out. You can leave them there, whatever. Doesn't really matter. What approaches? Here we go. Hi, Lunar Valgoth. Steward of Darkness. Alright, I'm Sundered, which I don't love. But I don't think it really matters this time. And she has dropped me Negating of Thunder. It's kind of bad. But +1 to Necromancer skills is quite good. The Chaos to Vitality conversion I don't really care about. So I'm going to grab that, and at level 50, so next level, I will probably use this. or I'm going to farm a better one in between episodes. All right. We can talk to these guys now. Why should I help you? Continue. If you help them, you lose out on a boss and his two friends in Forgotten Gods. And if you don't help them, you can just leave them here. You'll get some Black Legion rep, which is good. So I'm going to leave them there. It doesn't really matter in normal, like I said, but yeah, I don't like them. Okay, we're going to head over here and talk to Dela. And by talk to Dela, what I mean is we're going to leave a rift here, a rift gate, and we're just going to leave. So, hi Dela, bye Dela. And we have to head into the city. So obviously you can never have enough Aether Crystals, which is certainly true. And on the outskirts here, we do have a Devotion Shrine, which I want. And any crystals you come across on the way in, you're probably going to want to kill them and collect them. Alright, so we're into the city. There's my Devotion Shrine. I'm going to run over there and get that. And then we are going to go and fight for the Rift Gate. Because you will actually have to fight for the Rift Gate here. Also important to notice the Galacros plating, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Galacros Dread plating is something we want. So on the way through the sewers, we are going to be fighting Galacros. Let's go ahead and toss that in here. Are these worth using? Kind of, actually. Level 52. Alright. Devotion point. Finishing up the Chariot of the Dead. At this point, the plan is... Oh, and for anyone who's wondering what the plan is, the plan is in the description of the first episode. So if you want to go there and have a look, you'll see the final kind of leveling guide, Grimtools. The plan is, however, to remove the Hawk here, and we'll be putting those points into the Jackal, and then after that we'll be going for the Vulture, then we'll be getting the Revenant, then we'll be getting Behemoth, which is here. After Behemoth, we'll be taking the points out of the Vulture, we'll be getting the Sailor's Guide, we'll be getting the Eel, and then we'll be getting Spear of Heavens. So that's the rest of the devotion points planned out for you. Or you can see them in the description of the first video in this series. Alright, I do want to go in here, but these mages right here potentially have my weapon. It's not super common, but the good news is, once we have cleared this Rift Gate, which you can see on the map there, we can exit the menu, come back to the Rift Gate, kill the mages in that house, and also the other ones on the other side of this Rift Gate. Let me just clear this fight first. Everybody being more or less dead before they get out of the ground is absolutely how I want it. You can see these mages here just kind of ran over from over here. That's because there's a few that spawn in this little house. And there's a decent chance... Oh no. Well, there's my level 50 to 94 pants sorted. There's a decent chance that you will find a hero there. And you can kill him and he's got a good chance to drop them. The mages with yellow names can drop them. The mages with white names are not going to drop them. And the heroes have a decent chance to drop them. So you want to look out for the heroes. I believe Tor Exterior is available as a bounty from the Malmouth bounty board, the Resistance bounty board. And I think it's maybe 100%, maybe just very high. But if you kill Tor Exterior a few times, you should have a nice weapon. Alright, this is what I came in here for, Dravis's letter. I'm going to grab that and leave. I'm going back to the Rift Gate we just cleared. That was the second quest item for Dela. So I've got them both now. I've successfully not cleared my Rift Gate or moved it around, which If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that's a bit of an accomplishment. Let's go turn it in. So she's going to give us some XP and I think a blue weapon. Alright, so, yep. Done. Gave us a blue weapon. What did we get? We got Empowered Revenant's Edge, which, yeah, it's okay. Again, if we were doing a Vitality version, you could maybe consider using this for the Lifesteal and Nova, but probably not. Alright, that's level 50. So, let's have a quick look here. Definitely want to get a point in Steel Resolve. That's resistances, that's damage to Chthonics and Eldritch. Good stuff. Probably head back over to Necromancer. I want Harbinger of Souls. I probably want 1 point in Call of the Grave just for the heal from the amulet. And Mark of Torment's always good. So probably push up. Get Harbinger of Souls here. We don't really have a good choice for exclusives. But we have some less bad choices. Okay. Now that I don't need that Rift anymore, we should spawn in the Coven. Sorry, we should spawn in Homestead. And I want to... These are not the pants I thought they were. Okay, that's fine. They can go. We want to go have a look at some faction stuff. For anyone who's more interested in playing through the campaign or whatever, I'm going to be not pushing the story progress anymore for the rest of this episode. I'm going to be looking at faction gear and changing my gear around. So, first thing, let's actually have a look what we've got in the inventory. And to do that, I'm going to empty this out. Also, I just saw the cannons quest. Please tell me I actually clicked on the cannons. Okay, yes, good. Alright, so we've got cannons on the wall here again. That's great. Okay, so I want the +1 to necro skills. I want this shoulders. I want these gloves. Let's have a look what I have to do to make it happen. I'm a little bit under on poison and acid. I'm going to get that back with the anti-venom salve, so all of my resistances are now maxed out without the component on my gloves or my shoulders. Which is good, because that means I can make some Restless Remains for my gloves, which is casting speed. It's also a whole bunch of energy. And I can't really use the attack damage converted to health, but it's there. And I could potentially swap out... I could almost get rid of that last Wardstone too. I can't, but I could almost get rid of that Wardstone and put another Aether Soul on. The Aether Souls are really good for the city of Malmouth because there's a lot of ethereals in there. And getting 6% twice less damage from ethereals sounds good to me. What do I want on the shoulders, actually? I mean, the obvious easy one is swap these two for ancient armor plates and put a scaled hide on there. What else do we have? We could put a... What are they called? The skulls? Come on, I know this one. We could put a Sanctified Bone on the chest. Doesn't really help us out too much. I think if we just do chest here, Resilient Plating's not really great. Scaled Hide, yeah, I think we just leave it actually. There's nothing too fancy. I could swap these out for extra armor, but yeah, it's kind of whatever. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it. I also think I'm going to hang on to these shoulders. Technically, they are level 50, so by the time... Actually, what do I have on my chest? Piercing resistance on my chest, 20%, so I'm not going to go under the cap, even if I take that off, which is beautiful. Beautiful. I've also got a few other pieces of gear to have a look at, now that I'm thinking about it. Because if I look at the plan, the level 50 faction gear I'm interested in is the Legion stuff. So that's going to be Old Mate over here. And I'm interested in the boots, the chest, and the waistguard. So Black Legion has the... Oh, that's... Hang on, waistguard? For some reason, I'm interested in Nightblade belts in the plan. I think there's been a mistake there. Anyway, the boots definitely could be good. Legion Greaves actually have a decent amount of armor, and they're kind of similar to the Harvest Footpads. We're trading Chaos Resistance for physical. Kind of fine with that, so yes, I'm going to make that trade. And also the Legion Chest, which looks pretty good to me. I already have determined that I don't care about that piercing resistance there. Losing 6% physical resistance I don't love, but the Legion investments are considerably more damage, so I'm also going to make that trade. Now, the other thing is the Outcast. Did I get enough Outcast reputation to buy her stuff? Because I'm also interested in the Outcast's Wrath stuff. But the question is, will she sell it to me? And the answer is no. I'm a little bit short. So if we just do a search for Wrath here, we're looking at the vestments. Honestly, either one would be fine. 2 to Death Sentence, 2 to Decomposition. Those are skill points that I use. 2 resistances, casting speed, Aether damage percentage. This is alright. And then the shoulders was the mantle, actually. Which, yeah, that's fine. +2 to the main skill is definitely good. I could use another 6 points there. But I think that's kind of okay for now. And then at level 65, we're looking at the Dreeg stuff. We're looking at the Coven stuff. Expansion factions, basically. I think this is kind of okay. Gonna swap the components over, and we're looking good. And at this point, I'm probably going to farm a new weapon in between episodes. But I may not. I may not. I might just get one naturally. Do I need move speed? Yes, I do. Oh boy, do I need move speed. Yeah, not quite capped. Okay, I'm going to keep these for now. I don't expect I'm going to need the Silk Swatch anytime soon, but maybe. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to chuck that on there. I don't expect to actually need that resistance. But it does mean that I could swap out this last Wardstone for an Aether Soul and be a little low on cold, and it would just be fine. I could also trade the move speed on the Mark of the Traveler for a dense fur. That would fix the cold resistance, and then I would be fine. I could also delete this Silk Swatch, put the dense fur on here. Actually, you know what? I've talked myself into it. There we go. Also need a new runestone. Or a rift tear, or whatever it's called. Okay, dense fur. There we go. A little bit of cold resistance. Goes on the shoulders. Lovely jubbly. Aether Soul needs Wrathstones ×2. There we go. Aether Soul. Boom. This is a pretty good defensive setup for the city of Malmouth. Getting 6% less damage from ethereals and aether corruptions, in addition to the giant blue glowing circle of don't move or you die. We're pretty good defensively. And that is where I'm going to end the episode. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.